I am very excited to be starting Unit 3. We just kind of keep on building upon the stuff we've talked about. We're going to turn our attention to talking more about compounds. So I bet you never thought you'd see this again. Okay, this slide actually kind of breaks down matter. Matter, of course, is anything, matter is made up of atoms, and atoms have mass and occupy space. And so matter can either be a mixture. If it's a mixture, it can be the same throughout. It's a homogeneous mixture. It can be chunky. It's a heterogeneous mixture. Now, if it's a pure substance, it can either be an element, and that's a chunk of matter that's all atoms of the same type, or those atoms can be joined together in a repeating unit we call a compound. Okay, so we can go from elements to compounds via some sort of chemical reaction. Okay, we can take compounds, we can break them back down into elements by some sort of chemical reaction again. Okay, so let's focus more on compounds. Here are some things about compounds. So compounds are made up of if it's a pure substance, it's made up of only one single repeating unit. And that repeating unit, we're going to talk more about this, but that repeating unit can be either a molecule or a formula unit. So, for instance, a good example of a compound is H2O. Of course, that is the chemical formula for the compound water. We have an oxygen chemically bonded to two hydrogens. We're going to talk more about the nature of that chemical bond coming up here. But this would be the repeating unit you see in a bottle of water. So water and other compounds can be broken down by some sort of ordinary chemical reaction. And in order for it to be an official compound, the atoms that are stuck together need to be two or more different elements that are stuck together. All right, so here are some examples of some compounds, and we use, we'll be talking more about this, but we use formulas like H2O to show the three atoms that are joined together to make a repeating unit we call a water molecule. So the next slide says what this is, but you guys probably buy this, that we have two hydrogens and then we only have how many oxygens? Just one oxygen. It's implied if there is no subscript that it's the number one. So these subscripts are important. For instance, carbon dioxide has one carbon atom and two oxygen atoms. Ethane has two carbons and six hydrogens. Calcium sulfate has how many oxygens? Has four oxygens, one sulfur, and what does Ca stand for? The element calcium. So it's calcium sulfate. Ammonium sulfide. Now, we kind of do it like math in that, in math, if you have like something in parentheses, times 2, you take that 2 applies to everything that's in parentheses. To me, that's kind of what we do with chemical formulas. So, for instance, this NH4, that is what we call ammonium, okay? And know how many we need of those. We need 2 ammoniums, okay? So it kind of looks like this, ammonium sulfide. It has a sulfur in the middle, and then it has 2 of those NH4s. So I'm going to put, let's see, what color do I want? I'll just go with blue. So N and 4 hydrogens. Okay, N and 4 hydrogens. So that's kind of what this NH4 quantity 2 is really representing 2 of those NH4s. Let me go ahead and kind of finish this thought. I'm going to go ahead and instead of drawing a solid, I'm going to go ahead and do a dot, 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 a dash. See that green dash? I don't know if you see that green dash between my sulfur and the nitrogen atom. Okay, that actually is a different type of chemical bond called an ionic bond. And so anyway, this is the repeating unit of ammonium sulfide. And then I have one more slide here. Oh, I have one more. Okay, so let me give this in the form of a quiz. Can you tell me, this is magnesium nitrate, and we'll be talking more about how do you name these, but can you already get a sense? Magnesium, so that leaves nitrate for this thing, and it is this thing. We're going to be talking more about, these are what we call a polyatomic ion nitrate. But my question is going to be, how many oxygen atoms are there in one magnesium nitrate repeating unit? And the answer, of course, is 6, because we have 3 for each nitrate and we have 2 nitrates. So we have 6 oxygen atoms. Okay. So this is a slide to kind of remind you that, for instance, the H2O molecule, H2O, formula for water, you guys told me that there's kind of an implied 1 here, and that's the case.